Hi there, welcome to Professor Snyder's, it's me, Music Biz News, and here's a topic that is just in time for Halloween, and it's about stream rippers, and it's very possible that you might even be a stream ripper and not even know it, especially you baby boomers out there who probably, like I did, would record songs off the radio using a cassette deck. And the record labels, all the way back then, didn't like that. Even in the mid-1970s, the music industry had a bee in its bonnet about home taping. And albums began to feature what I'm calling the pre-slogan warning on their inner sleeves. The album copyright notice was not simply a copyright notice, it was a cloaked warning. Do not record this music onto a cassette. And that was the precursor to home taping is killing music. And stream ripping is sort of the same thing, only digital instead of tape-based. Stream ripping, or de-streaming, occurs when an individual rips music or video from a streaming platform before converting it into a downloadable file that any user can use offline. They obtain a permanent copy, usually without the consent from the streaming service they ripped it from. Stream ripping is the fastest growing music piracy in the United Kingdom, at least, and United States, at least it was in 2017. And several sites and apps allow users to turn Spotify songs and YouTube videos and other streaming content to store on phones and computers. And record labels back then claimed that tens or even hundreds of millions of tracks were illegally copied and distributed by stream ripping services each month. Overall usage of stream ripping sites increased by 1,413 in 2 years between 2014 and 2016, overshadowing all other illegal music services. But in 2017, it looked like the evil stream rippers were defeated. World's largest music stream ripping site shuts down after successful international legal action from record industry. YouTube MP3.org, formerly the world's largest site dedicated to offering illegally streamed ripped music, has ceased to operate following legal action from record companies in the United States and the UK. The Germany-based site, which had 60 million visitors per month from around the world, has shut down globally, and its operators has agreed not to infringe the rights of artists and record companies in the future. So it seems like the evil stream rippers back in 2017 were defeated by the good guys. And that resulted in headlines like this: does music piracy still exist, even in the age of streaming? Streaming seems to have wiped out music piracy, not according to the IFPI. The Global Recording Industry Organization claims that piracy is still alive and well, but living in just another form. While illegal downloads dominated piracy a few years ago, now it's attributed to stream ripping. So like in the horror movies, people thought that music piracy, that included the stream rippers, was dead and buried. Now they realized that the stream rippers had just changed form. And just like in those Halloween movies, it was creeping back. In 2023, overall, 29% of music consumers turned to copyright infringement to listen to or to obtain music online, while 26% use stream ripping sites. And now, in 2025, stream ripping is back in a big way. And guess why? Stream ripping fuels generative AI, from which existential threats emerge. On the near horizon, the industry claims that the rise of generative AI presents a new and rapidly evolving challenge for the music ecosystem that threatens its long-term sustainability. AI has awakened the monster, which of course has led to more lawsuits. Stream ripping scandal rocks AI music. Major labels sue Suno over copyright infringement. Universal Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and Warner Music Group have escalated their copyright infringement lawsuit against AI music generator Suno. The core of the dispute, initially filed in June of 2024, has intensified recent amendments in September 2025, centering on explosive allegations of stream ripping and widespread unauthorized use of copyrighted sound recordings to train Suno's artificial intelligence models. Facing stream ripping allegations from the labels, Suno and Udio weigh in on a separate case to challenge ruling that makes YouTube downloading illegal. The issue has become relevant to Suno and Udio now that the major record companies suing them are working to beef up their cases by alleging the AI companies not only violated the copyright on the songs they used without permission to train AI, but also used illicit means to download those songs. They've petitioned the courts to add allegations of stream ripping against the AI companies, and their response in an amicus brief filed on Friday, October 10th, with the U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals, the two companies urged the appellate court to overturn a 2022 verdict which declared that stream ripping violates the United States Digital Millennial Copyright Act. That ruling jeopardizes the fair use doctrine by misconstruing the DMCA, and it suggests that anyone who downloads a YouTube video, including not only AI startups, but also documentary filmmakers, teachers, and the like, is liable for statutory penalties under the DMCA, even if that person's activities fall squarely within the contours of fair use, lawyers for Suno and Udio wrote in the brief. So now I wonder if in the future, just downloading a YouTube video or Spotify song will be considered to be illegal, including dedicated software like Stream Ripper and 123 Stream Rip and Record, or browser extensions or desktop applications with ripping functionality, like back in 2017 when they thought they had defeated stream ripping. Pirate Raid, Steam East, world's largest illegal sports streaming site, was taken down on September 3rd, 2025. So they're already beginning to shut down the sites and the software. But maybe it doesn't matter. The music industry is about to change because Gen Z isn't into streaming. According to the music research group Media, there are signs that Gen Z are not warming to streaming like they should be, with 16 to 19-year-old penetration growing far more slowly than other age groups. They also want to own their music instead of borrowing or ripping it from a streaming service, which means that there's a desire to actually own physical media once again. And as we get closer to Halloween, beware of the stream rippers. They're out there. You might not see them, but they're there. They could be your next door neighbor, ripping into those poor, unprotected streams. Keep a good lookout. So if you like this episode, please join my channel on YouTube and like this episode, and I really appreciate that. And have a safe, rip-free Halloween.